Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It is March 29, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. Why charts? Now, that might be a funny question coming from a guy that's written, what, hundreds, if not over 1,000 indicators? But really, let's go back. Why charts? I mean, back in the days, in the olden days, when they were trading the stock market, they didn't use charts. Then somebody came along with the idea, I guess, of a line chart. And then somebody borrowed from the Japanese and did the candlestick charts, and somebody invented bar charts. But why charts at all? I mean, think about it. I get a lot of questions about EAs. Will you write me this EA? Why don't you use EAs? Do you think this EA is any good? Ad nauseum. But EAs don't use charts, do they? I mean, you place an EA on the chart, but it's looking at numbers. It's comparing numbers. I mean, if I just gave you a price, the current price of dollar Canadian, let's just peek over there, 129.11. What would you do? I say, okay, price is 129.11. Should we buy or should we sell? What should we do? You'd probably go, well, I need a little more information. Right there. There's the key. You need more information. Well, what do you need to know? That's the next question. So what's the next key piece of information do you need to know? Well, probably you'd want to know where price opened today, right? Where did price open? So I would then tell you 129.18. Okay, well, price is at 129. What did I say? But it opened at 129.18. So you'd know if price is above or below the open. Right? And depending on time of day, was the open a minute ago, an hour ago, 10 hours ago? You might want to know, well, did it get any higher or lower? So now you want to know the open, the daily high, and the daily low. Well, is that enough information? Or do you want something else? You see, I don't think most traders analyze price like that. I think what they do is they decide they want to trade, which really is saying they decided they wanted to trade so they can make some extra money or make money, make their living, or get rich, right? I mean, really, you either trade to make some extra money, trade to make a living, or you're trading to get rich. Well, are there any other options? I mean, trading for fun? Just because you like to? Possibly. But I don't know, trading for excitement? Perhaps. But usually when you trade for a future that means you've got a little bit more money than when you started out with. So that being said, why are you putting these things on the chart? Because you were told to. You went to some class or read some book and they told you about moving averages or RSI or stochastics or MACD or one of the other hundreds or thousands of different indicators that are floating around out there. And so they said, if price is above this moving average or if these two moving averages cross, blah, blah, blah. But one of the things they don't do is they usually don't give you statistics. They might give you some back test, which, curve fitting or I think, well, maybe some of you don't know um, how I feel about back tests. So it's real simple. The only reason to back test something is to make sure the code performs right, not to make sure that it turns a profit, because that's why you use statistics. But you just want to make sure the code executes a trade when it was supposed to and doesn't execute a trade when it's not supposed to. You're just testing the code for bugs, not to see if the system or method is profitable. That's my opinion of backtesting. So what I guess I'm trying to say is that once you guys and gals, you traders, just kind of take a pause and just take a hard look at your chart and everything that's on the chart. If you don't know the statistics behind it or the reason behind it, then you might want to rethink your trading plan. And one of the things you better have in your trading plan is your money and risk management. Okay? You know that. You know this screen's coming. I know you guys love this screen, right? Because it's a reminder. Now, what did I just say? Why do I have these lines on the chart? I mean, this is the only indicator. I mean, this is just a dashboard to give me an idea. But really, on the chart, what do I have? I can see where price is relative to certain lines. And you can see here, for the week, price is still above the open. It peaked below the low, it shot out of the weekly wick zone. It went out this side, now it's out this side. Very simple. I have statistics, how far price moves from open to high and how far price moves from high to close. You see, we got there. Close to open, high to close to low. So we know exactly where price is right there. Oh yeah, I know. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to do this so you guys can see. You can hit pause and see what indicators I have. So there you go. But you see these lines, they mean something. And these lines don't move. Once the week starts, these lines, because this is last week's and this is this week's, these lines don't move at all. So you can see you've got something that's fixed that you can now relate to. You can say, okay, price is this far from the open, this far from the high, this far from today's low. Okay, if you wanted to, you could use how far is it from last week's high, last week's open, last week's mid, and so on. Oh, by the way, 1, 2, we've got only 3 gaps open. I think we started the week with about 6 open after the first hour or so. And I wonder why it keeps doing that. These new computers, or my mouse is too touchy. I don't know. Might have to adjust the sensitivity. Okay, we're going to look at yesterday's high, yesterday's open, yesterday's low. You can see here price peaked about 5 pips above yesterday's high and came back down through the open. And once again, we can look here at the various pairs. We can see we only kind of a nothing day, only 2 ranges over 100, kind of stagnated. And for those of you who like the fibs, this is the fib retrace. And once again, you can see high to open and open to low for the buy zone type traders or week or daily open line cross traders. You can see here 18 open to high, 30 open to low. So in either case, there was money to be made. So once again, why do we put things on the chart? Okay. 1 minute. Let's switch that back to H1. Wonder how I got to 1 minute. Must have been playing around yesterday. So looking at hindsight here, let's say you had a trigger here. It went up a little bit more, stalled, so that looks like you might want to scratch that trade. Because if it's not moving in your direction, chances are it's moving against you, right? And you can see here, hindsight took a short here. And once again, it came back. So that looks like a scratch trade. And here you go. You've got a hindsight trade here where you took a short. And this time you had a little bit more profit. It pulled back. Maybe you stayed in the trade. Or if you started here, you see you had a nice profit. And you see here, must have been news. Went up, went down. You had to be quick. Oh, that's why I did it. Had it on M1. We were analyzing some movement. Now I remember. But you see here, within that minute, you had to be quick. You had to be paying attention. And then same thing here. Be quick. You know, within a minute or two, some nice little profits to be had. Don't sneeze at those 5 pips. A lot of people will turn their nose up at 5 pips. But, you know, that's them. And then right here, once again, you're only 2 pips to the good. And see right here, this is pretty much telling you almost, you know, you could say bag the trade, or somebody might say, well, look at this channel. It looks like it's going down. You could sit in the trade and see what happens. But if you got in at 08, I mean, chances are, you know, you might have a 07, 077 break even plus, or in this case, break even -1 stop. Because you can see here, it's just kind of doing that. So really not much action. But then again, here we go. Might have a move to the downside. There you go. You see? You don't know. Who knows what happens? That's why we trade. If we knew what was going to happen, it'd be over with. And you can see here, price is stalling. So maybe you take some pips, or maybe you see if it keeps going. Right there. And as you can see, not much in terms of rat zone, because here's where we got the push. Came in, came out. Came in, came out, touched, and reversed. Now we're in the lower green rat zone. And you can see here, fading the pivot, paid off. Once again, for those just tuning in, you've got daily open. You see the pivot line. You trade towards the pivot. You can either just go straight from the open or use the buy zone, depending on how far the pivot's away, which I'm thinking I might add the pivot to this chart. Price action, what can I say? You guys already know the answer here. There you go. And the 5 lines from yesterday, which, just in case you're wondering, you see, I don't have the 5 lines on this daily chart, but I have them on here. You guys know what to do. Wick zone, price doesn't like staying in, statistically based. That's why that indicator is there. Holo zone, once again, statistically based. Price usually exits the holo zone. Just a tick chart. But once again, why do we have a chart? We can just use time and sales. So you see, fellow traders, it's really not what you trade, it's how you trade it. But I really want you to think about it. Really take a pause and really look at, you know, kind of like why you're trading, you know, using those things on your chart. So as I say, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. TheRumpledOne signing off to drain the banks.